Hey everyone, I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Joker by Brian Azzarello. So this is a DC Black Label book. And DC Black Label is an imprint under DC where it is outside of the main continuity. So it allows writers and artists to take liberties with very popular characters that they otherwise could not have done in the main continuity. So I will say this as the first part of my thoughts on reading this. If you actually enjoyed Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker in the 2008 The Dark Knight movie, you will actually enjoy this book quite a bit. Now, before we get further into actually talking about the book, the story is actually very, I want to hit or miss. It feels like a slow burn coming up to a point where you know how it was going to end. Because once you kind of understand who Joker is, you can tell how the story is going to end. It's not actually a surprise to anyone that knows who Joker is. And it actually kind of reinforces what people actually think about the Joker as well. That was just my first initial takeaways of it. Because once I got to literally the end of the book, as the climax starts hitting and about the end of the third act, I was like, oh, I know how this is going to end because this is how Joker is the character. But overall, I will be getting Lex Luthor. It's a Lex Luthor Man of Steel book that Brian Azzarello also did. People said that's even better than this, so I'll get that eventually. And maybe if you want to get it, we'll review it together.
Definitely. From the next one that I really do want to review from DC Black Label.
I have that too. I have that one.
Yeah, it's a real, like, I love it. The art is...
You kind of look like her too.
It's different. It's from Stepan Sejic, Croatian guy. It's really good.
I actually have myself. I have that book, and you definitely look like her. Why do you look like Harley Quinn? What the hell? I didn't notice a resemblance until ever since I've met you. Crazy guy. It's an inside joke there. So, the other thing in this book, before we actually just go through the story itself, is if you actually like Harley Quinn, I'll be honest here, I think Harley Quinn is done at a disservice here. She has no lines of dialogue in the book, and she's only just portrayed as just some whore bag. That's it.
I actually like that because I think it was so again, this is going back to 2008, right? Before we got all the Margot Robbie films and all this bullshit.
Those are your favorites?
And like she's being reused and reused all the time, even with some comic shows that are coming out. They're just reusing her, and here it's a breath of fresh air not to have her as a main character and just to sideline her, have her in the... There's a lot of things, again, we're going to go into that. A lot of characters that we love and know or hate, whatever, but who are on the outskirts. This is about Joker and a portrayal and a study of his character, but not done in the same way like when we watched that shit show of a film where it's like, oh my god, you don't actually need to put Joker in Arkham so I can sit there and like, oh, so he's got this kind of, he's iron and blah, blah, blah. No, this is done in a really well made way, just like, again, I'm sorry, MSK, but just like with the Penguin, this felt very much the same. It's almost like they took the story, and I know the Penguin is based more on the Halloween comic book story with Batman and everything and the Hangman, but his relationships with different people, him coming out of... How the hell did who released him from Arkham? Who did that? We don't need to know.
Yeah.
There's no point in us knowing that. You don't explain it. Joker is released from Arkham.
You know what I think it is? I think the book, to its credit, to its fault, does kind of predicate on you knowing preconceived notions about the universe to really get the full scope of it. If this is like your first ever introduction to Gotham City, you're probably going to wonder things like what you just said. Why would they release this crazy guy into the streets? But if anyone knows anything about anything Batman related, whether it's comics, movies, animated versions, anything, Gotham is a legit terrible place, guys. There's a reason why most of the Justice League go, hey, Batman, you deal with that. We're not dealing with that. There's reasons for that. Gotham is a horrible place. That's the only thing that I liked in Joker 2 and like Joaquin Phoenix versus he actually portrayed Gotham as a terrible place. Gotham is a terrible place, actually. So I would believe that, Gotham people are so beyond retarded that they would believe this guy's reformed. Only Gotham would do that. Only them. Because if you look at the rest of the book,
they even did that in the Gotham TV show where they released the Riddler when he's clearly insane, and they're like, "Oh no, well, this is going to be an experiment," and he's acting the whole time. So, and you have the Riddler in this. You have Penguin, the Riddler, obviously Harvey Dent, Two-Face plays a very central part. He's more like the opponent to Joker, but he's coming out of Arkham and he's like, what's happened to my city? Because he feels like it is his gritty, filthy city full of sin. And there's one line that I think the Riddler asked him, like, what do you do when you feel like the world is against you? And Joker answers, you go into insanity. Or just something along those lines. It's his city. Gotham is not the same as Metropolis. Metropolis is supposed to be like, oh, yay, we're all going around happy. Yay, Superman, yay. This is like 1960s, 70s New York, Manhattan, full of crime. And I think that, I don't want to think that, but I kind of, with this version of Joker, I think that Batman maybe have been the one behind the release. Because if Batman does not have Joker in the crime that Joker caused or has done, then Batman has no reason to be. And that already puts a different level. It doesn't explain things. It doesn't tell you. It makes you think. That's why I like it.
You think that's better? Like, it leaves you kind of guessing about why certain events are the way they are rather than explaining it. I think certain things like that play out. But that still predicates on preconceived notions, right? If you know Batman, then you know why things would come out the way they do. Also, speaking of Batman, let's brought that up. People ask, is he in the book? Yes. And what's great about why he's in the book, actually, it's not because he even takes over the book. So people probably expect like him to be in the book as much. No, when he comes in, it's at the perfect time of the book to kind of really showcase why they are like always at odds with each other. And it also proves the whole big point about the book. So before we go into the story, the main point of the book is to prove that Joker sees no one as equal to him except Batman. And that is proven at the very end of the book. He sees no one as equal to him unless he is the Dark Knight. That's the point of the book. And the guy that we're going to talk about in this moment here, he realized that toward the very end. He thought he was equal to Joker. He would take him around places. He thought he was his boy. No, Joker only cares about technically second Harley Quinn, maybe as a second choice. But Batman is the person that he only sees as an equal. So, oh my goodness, I almost hit my camera. Almost broke my monitor like I did before. That would have been crazy. All right, so let's start off with the book. So the main character of the book, technically outside of Joker, is a guy named Johnny Frost. He is Joker's driver during the book. So
he is not like canonic. We don't know anything about him. He's kind of like in the mob, or was in a gang where Joker controlled things before he went to Arkham, and he was like just doing, mob shit, whatever. Does that remind you of anything from any story we have seen in the past?
Literally every mob gangster.
Oh my god! Like the Penguin. Literally, dude doesn't know what he's doing, and then he's like, "Go and do this job." Drives a car, picks up this man, and they start having a relationship. And this dude comes from nowhere. We don't know anything about him. Johnny Frost is his name, and he suddenly is like, hey, I'm feeling something from this dude, Mr. J. Like, you're giving me something I've never felt before. I'm starting to feel power, and I'm starting to feel empowered because of your presence. And I can help you achieve, and I'm going to be your second-hand man. Right. And develop a very strange relationship, which is very unhealthy, because we all know that Mr. J doesn't care about anybody. He cares about, we don't even know. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
the part you just brought up there. Remember toward the end of the book, he says he doesn't like when people apologize to him. But as in this part of the book, he had said, don't ever apologize for the way you look. The book always tries to play on what you think about Joker, because that's the best thing about the Joker as a character. Every iteration, even the ones I don't like, do the crazy personality. He's supposed to be essentially insanely unpredictable. One moment, he's very happy. One moment, he'll shoot you in your chest, kill you instantly. I like the way that he was portrayed that way in the book. It's very good.
And it was done in such a, like, again, I'm going back to Lee Bermejo, or Bermejo, if you're Spanish. Just his portrayal, it almost seems, it's a different kind of comic book style. It's very much Christopher Nolan, Dark Knight, very gritty, very Constantine, very Preacher, very, it's not like glossy or stands out. It's very dark, extremely dark. And again, Johnny Frost is in the presence of one of the biggest, the the Prince of Crime in Gotham, and the Prince of Crime comes back from Arkham and is like, "What's happened to my city? I'm gonna take my city back. Are you gonna help me?" And this guy's like, "Yep." Again, same premise as in the Penguin, with the Penguin and Victor. Dynamic between, I'm looking up to you, I'm coming back from something, and I'm going to take over the city, and I'm going to do anything you tell me to do. It's dynamic.
There's another thing in the book that is also really cool that I thought what Brian Azzarello did. What I like about certain Batman comic stories throughout my life personally is the way they can utilize certain characters that don't get utilized enough, even the ones that you know about. So like Killer Croc is a main villain in the book, and keep in mind that most Killer Croc is usually just a blind muscle guy for a lot of the villains of Gotham, but in this book he was actually utilized very effectively. There was a scene where he punks Johnny and he didn't kill him because that respect factor was there, but it was to show
they're fighting for being Mr. J's like secondhand man, and Killer Croc is, again, he's not this thing that we see in like the Arkham games or in the Suicide Squad games. He's just a massively big dude who has like some skin deformities, but he's not like an actual crocodile or anything. But he held the fort for Joker. And this, again, loyalty, like when it comes to, even though somebody that you're friends with or partners in crime with, whatever, ride or die, you will still hold the fort. And he never lost that loyalty. He was always loyal to Joker. And then comes in this new guy. And that's why they have this like nice little interaction. Like, who are you?
I think honestly, it's one of the more better portrayals of Killer Croc I've seen. Because like most of the time, Killer Croc is just a muscle guy, where he's just like the random. He's like that first villain you take care of, and then you kind of forget about him later on. Also, if people have forgotten, this is the comic book where Joker skins someone alive. So he gets out of Arkham, like Anna said. He wants to reclaim Gotham City. He goes to the strip club where Harley Quinn is working as a stripper. Honestly, the art in this book is so fucking good. It really gets down the style of what they're trying to portray here in the story. And one guy tries talking shit to him, saying, "Hey, no, this turf is mine now." And yeah, you get that's the scene where he skins someone alive. Keep in mind, you will never see this in a movie, because keep in mind, guys, even in horror movies, you can't skin someone alive for the most part. So you're only going to be seeing this in few instances in media. But yeah, Joker skinned alive someone who disrespected him. That's how crazy Joker is. That's just what it was. So Johnny's character, later on, he gets to be Joker's approved driver, and he obviously gets out later on, and then he's having marital problems. His wife is actually divorcing him. Now, she'll come into play later on, but she's divorcing him. And it's kind of reminding you of what character kind of was down on their luck before something really bad happened to them. They had that one bad day. Crazy. It's like that guy with the clown makeup that we're talking about right now. So later on throughout the book, Joker goes back to his ways. He essentially has Penguin invest the stolen money that he got, and he later on gets this briefcase from the Riddler. Harvey Dent is also a guy that's controlling a turf of Gotham as well, but Harvey Dent's been avoiding him actually. And then the tension just keeps building up in the book. There's that moment that we talked about with Killer Croc and Johnny. Well, Joker doesn't like being late for his mission, so he kind of beats him like the way he would beat Harley Quinn if she kind of like got out of line a little bit. Dent, early on in the book, meets up with Johnny, and come to find out later on, that'll play out later on, where he was trying to tell Johnny that basically the Joker will kill you and just like laugh about it later on, which isn't wrong. I mean, if you know who the Joker is in any iteration, you know he'd do that anyway, you know? So Joker has meetings with other characters to kind of like go, okay, I want to use this money for something. He was like, you know what? I'll give you 10%. Then he was like, you know what? I'm just going to kill you. It's actually just mentally insane.
But what he does is he's charming, right? He doesn't just go in. Like he's going to ask you in the face and mouth and whatever. He goes in. He makes a deal with somebody, and he goes, you know what? Okay, fine. We'll agree. Let's shake hands. Goes out, comes back, and shoots the person in the face. That is like just what this personality is represented so well. Every page that you turn, you don't know what he's gonna do.
This part right here is so visibly graphic. So I think throughout the book, Johnny starts becoming like Joker. This is just things I was thinking as I was reading it. He slowly is becoming like the Joker. He doesn't even know it. That's what, because he just wants to see himself as an equal to him so bad, but he never actually voices these things. But it's just internalized because he is the person that's monologuing throughout the book. Is told through his perspective, and it gets to a point where Joker starts getting more bigger in crime like it used to be. He's having like Harley take out people. He's having Killer Croc take out people. He himself is taking out people later on, as you see. And then we get to that point that we were talking about where Johnny said, hey, we got to go somewhere. And then Killer Croc said, no, I'll finish eating my food. You know, you never disrespect a man when he's eating. I agree with Killer Croc there. Imagine you're eating there and some guy's like, he's touching your food like, you got to stop eating. Who the fuck are you? Oh, let you touch my food like that. I punch you, you touch my food like that. That's just disrespect, you know? I agree with Killer Croc there. Fuck that guy.
Okay.
Like, fuck, like if let's say we were on a date and a dude walked up to you and was like, man, that's a nice piece of ass you got. I got to maybe I got to punch him in the face to let him know what's up. You know, that's what I got to do. No.
Yeah, I don't know. The reason why I like this version, even though it's a different kind of version from what people have seen about Gotham and how Gotham has been portrayed, is it's more realistic to real life. And I think we read comic books to get away from real life, but see certain struggles and certain things. In this instance, it's so realistic. At a certain point, you're like, whoa.
He even punked Penguin in the book, because Penguin earlier, he wasn't working with Joker. Joker corrades him to work with him.
Oh my god.
You know what's cool in the book? The Two-Face imagery, because he's just called Harvey Dent.
Yeah, that's what he said. Oh, not this one. He like breaks his like fist.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The Two-Face imagery throughout the book was really, really cool. It's cool to see some of the more street level Gotham villains get a lot of the love. So Joker is having a really bad day, because even Johnny said there's some days where it feels like he's just on cloud nine. There's some days where he feels like it's really shit. Like you said before in the bar, he like randomly broke this bottle of alcohol, and then one of the black guys in the club was like, "What the hell are you doing? This man's tripping out." He just went and killed him. Just slit half of his brain.
Yeah.
That's it. the character is just so unpredictable. Yeah, yeah.
Scene right here. No.
The character is insanely unpredictable throughout the book, actually. And then Johnny starts telling this story about a frog that he had as a kid, where he knew there was kids that were going to try and kill it, so he ended up killing it himself. What was the character that started killing randomly to kind of do it before? Sounds like a pretty familiar Gotham villain, actually. So he also shows you that there's a human side of Joker, as you can see right here. Harley Quinn's only real use in the book is just being an emotional anchor for Joker, or just, let's be honest, a sex slave. Let's be honest, he's mostly using her to bang her out.
Emotional anchor. I think she's just there to kind of compliment his. You need to have again, knowing the whole story, right? The lore. You need to have a female figure to complement the psycho. So somebody who's gonna like make it seem like, even though I'm doing bad things, but you know, he's doing bad things to me, but like you can relate to me, kind of thing. Like I'm the victim, but you were the victim as the audience, like see it through my side, that kind of thing. And she literally doesn't speak at all. In any of the scenes. There's no dialogue. She's just following him. And I loved that. Like I told you before. I thought it was really good. Like I'm sick of this Harley Quinn bullshit. And everybody.
So that story that I told you guys about just a second ago, when he was telling that story about that toad, the end of it basically just kind of revealed something that was in Johnny's brain. He was kind of feeling like at the end of that situation, he had to throw himself off an edge, because then he has that meeting with Dent, where this is the meeting we talked about earlier in the review, where Harvey Dent says, where he talks to him, where he just basically tells him that, hey, Joker doesn't care about you at all, you know?
I'm so sorry. I love the art. I think this is just beautiful.
So like, good. It's great.
The art is great. It's like, and like Joker going to Harley and like, oh, did it to myself after I went down to the street to find it. I looked everywhere, and he again, like this is why comic books, if you want to make this into a film or a show, you need to do it right. And I, again,
this is the best part right here. I found it. He said, he will stand over your body with your blood on his hands, and I promise you he will laugh. Not because your life means nothing to him, but because death for him is the punchline. That's just the best line of the book by far. And I just want to know, he still doesn't notice it. He still doesn't know. He still doesn't think Joker's like this, because he himself is becoming Joker. He just doesn't know it at this point. He just thinks Joker's just another guy he's working for.
Yeah.
So then you get to the point where, because Killer Croc made him late, Joker was trying to step up to Joker, be like, hey, I don't care, is that a problem? And Joker just kicks him in the nuts. Okay, I guess that's what we do here, you know. Joker just kicks him in the nuts, and then he was like, he pulled a gun into his face, and you're like, oh, what the hell? He's like, I was joking too. Typical shit. The Riddler stuff.
Yeah. Oh my god, I hope it. He's like kicked him in the nuts, and he's like, Johnny, like, what do you expect me to do? Like, I'm just gonna,
Johnny's like, I'm joking. I was too. I just randomly, fucking hell, just put a gun out on you. Just joke. It's just jokes, bro. So, Riddler pulls up to give Joker this briefcase. Later on, we find out what this is, and then the car ends up getting attacked by some of Harvey Dent's men.
Okay, can I just say something about the way that they made Riddler look? He looks like Hunter S. Thompson and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
He looked like he was drinking one too many bottles of whiskey.
I'm taking too much LSD or something, and MDMA. What the hell? It's not Riddler. That's a weird representation. I'm sorry, guys. What is this?
Oh yeah. Riddler looks like someone who's drinking whiskey uncontrollably and not going to work out, being some fat fuck. Good lord. So after that, Dent has his men chase down Joker, Joker's man fires on their cars after that. Joker fires back. They get into this alleyway, and then one of the guys that was punking him early on in the book, based off of his wife, what's his name? Johnny ends up killing that guy for the Joker. Because remember, this guy that was antagonizing Johnny earlier on in the book based off of his wife, I think that was the guy that was with his wife that she was cheating on him with.
Yes.
He kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he saves the Joker's life. Why would he do that? Because he himself thinks he and the Joker are equals. Then later on, the Joker...
I don't agree with that. I don't think that he thinks they're equal. I think that he is... No, I don't think that he thinks they're equal. I don't think that he's in the same mind state, but he is completely brainwashed where he wants to prove himself. That's why he's
fine too.
doing it.
So they have that guy strung up in Harvey Dent's house. That's just gruesome. A guy gets his brains blown out, and then Joker has the guy upside down in front of Harvey right there. So after that, Joker's killing sprees and taking over Gotham continues.
If you actually went to read this comic book and you were like, ew, I don't like gore, it's not for you. It's very, very graphic.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So he finally has that meeting with Dent that we were talking about earlier, because Penguin told Joker early on that, Harvey didn't want to meet with him because obviously Joker is mentally deranged. I wouldn't want to meet with that guy either, obviously. So they're fighting for control over this briefcase. And then Joker, this is another gruesome thing that happens. So he ends up slitting his wrist. Well, sorry. So Joker ends up slitting Harvey's wrist with this. I don't know. It looks like he put glass in his fingers so he could, it was just so gruesome. I don't know if I can even explain it. So Joker ends up slitting Harvey's wrist, and it shows that he had the glass inside of his fingers. That's just that's disgusting. That is gross. So later on, Harley Quinn and Killer Croc.
And the fact that he actually, when he does that, he goes, naughty, naughty.
That's just
so sick.
That's disgusting.
What on earth?
Shard, and keep in mind, he has those sharp pieces of glass because he broke that bottle of glass at that bar. So I imagine he just hit his hand, which we didn't see, but I'm pretty sure it's right there. So Harley Quinn and Killer Croc ambush Dent's men. And guess who's behind Dent's men? Johnny's wife earlier on.
Yep.
And then they don't show this, but this is in the official book description. If you read it, if you don't have enough money to buy the book, it says that Joker graped his ex-wife because Dent told Johnny that they had a secret meeting. Oh, Joker doesn't like getting slided. If you're on his crew, you have to tell him everything.
Okay, well, okay. To put it into so YouTube don't strike us, there's a scene where this happens, and Joker goes, Johnny, to him, get your lady. And then the next scene is her standing there with a whole bunch of nearly dead guys from after the squaffle they had. And then the next scene is Croc. He's saying Croc, and he's pulling his pants up as she is like this in the car. So that is alluding to the fact that something horrible happened. But I like that they did it. And again, you imagine it. You don't need everything to be like given to you, like spoon-fed to you. It could have been she could have rejected him or punched him in the dick or something. We don't know. We don't know at this point. But knowing Gotham and how these people operate, probably.
Oh, remember earlier before that scene happened? Remember before that scene happened? He said the Joker wasn't funny. Never tell the Joker he's not funny. That's not a good idea. He said he wasn't funny, and he wanted to keep this kind of between them, not make it like super personal. And then when it's revealed that Dent had a secret meeting with Johnny, because Joker doesn't know if he's loyal or betraying him, told him to get his lady. And then the things that you just said right there, she's Well, usually if a woman's sobbing and crying after I had sex with them, it's usually because I probably didn't last that long or I was flaccid.
Right. But the next
He
actual
said that the best part about that, Maurice over here,
scene,
he
yeah,
said this
he
makes
comes
us
out of the
even.
car. He comes out of the car and he says, "Drive her wherever. Give her some money."
Damn.
And Croc says, "How much?" He says, "Whatever. It was worth. Whatever it was worth." Like, we don't know. I want to believe that that did not happen. Could have. If it did, that even gives a darker. It's
But there was the last part where he says, "Does that make us even?" He said that makes us even, no, because he had felt slighted. It's just the character is just mentally deranged. He's just fully going back to the clown prince of crime. So after that, they have a little bit more personal conversations, and this is where the Batman actually comes out. So Dent is the one that shines the bat signal in the air to get Batman to come out, as you guys see right there. Batman only has like maybe 3 pages
10
of an appearance.
10 pages.
Yeah, well, maybe 3 to 5 pages of an appearance in the book, actually. And he tells Johnny, don't apologize. You just don't. And then obviously Johnny says you don't get it. And then Joker just says, I can't think of a worse way to die. And I know all of the bad ways inside and out. He says, what I hate more than anything is apologies. Then you get the Batman thing we just talked about. Dent confides in Batman. So this is not a traditional Batman story. No way Two-Face in any main DC continuity is talking to Batman if he doesn't have to. That's just not happening. So he says, Dent's going to murder me. And then obviously Joker kind of can feel like there's something ominous going on. Johnny and Joker have more dialogue together. And then after that, Batman starts having since Batman knows what's going on now, you see later on where Killer Croc is strung up. Yeah. Harley Quinn is taken care of at this point now. Mm-hmm. Then we get into what I would say is the main part of the book where it comes all together. It's my favorite part of the book. I absolutely love when this happens. So Batman goes through the henchmen, takes care of Harley Quinn and Killer Croc, like I just said, and then Joker starts going maniacally insane because he thinks Batman's somewhere around, and then Johnny starts inner monologuing to himself again. He's doing the entire book, but he does it again. Mm-hmm. He says, we ran, setting the streets on fire, dragging me, spitting and screaming through scars. He said early in the book that Joker would like laugh so hard he would just not even have tears. He would just laugh through it. And he was saying that this belongs to me. Joker was laughing. And you see right here, the part where in my opinion, in this panel right here, where I think at this moment, he thought he had became just like Joker. That's what I thought. But then Joker backhands him. Joker finally did exactly what Two-Face said he would do. He finally did it. And you knew it was coming.
I'm sorry. That's why I love that character so much. He is not a good guy. In the comic books, how many people has he like broken limbs and
so many things
kills and done so many, but he's trying to be better, constantly trying to be better in a city which is never going to be better, and we don't want it to. It's like chasing something that you never will achieve. We want Gotham to be corrupt because that represents our society, where we come from, and we want to have these stories about superheroes who want to fight that. If everything is lovey-dovey, utopia, like in Metropolis with even Superman couldn't save Metropolis. Sorry, Supes, whatever. Not invited to my party. Anybody, if you ever wear Superman costume, you are not invited to my Halloween party.
Can I be invited to your party where you dance on me, please, like a Harley Quinn? No,
I'm not Harley Quinn. I'm more like, I don't even know what I am.
Like Black Canary without being able to scream. But nevertheless, he actually at that moment in the book where I was telling you guys after Batman was.
Oh my god! Look at it. This is such great, like.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Oh my god! The dude Lee Bermejo.
Oh my dirty hose.
It's almost like he painted it, but then put ink on it.
That's kind of how that would work, Anna. But so Joker
absolutely.
finally betrays Johnny, like Two-Face said earlier in the book, like I said a moment ago. And Joker tells him, "You disgust me. You have no charm at all." That's true. Like, guys, throughout the book, you would think Johnny was this charismatic guy. No, Joker was absolutely right. There's no charm to this guy. He's pretty much just a follower at the end of the day. The thing is, Joker, in his mind, doesn't like followers. He wants people to stand up to him, but then he'll kill you if you feel like you kind of disrespected him. And then you get the best line in the book after that Two-Face line that I told you guys about earlier in the book. So Batman finds them, throws his batarang at one of Joker's eyebrows, the upper part close to where your bone is at. And then he says some of the best line in the book, actually. He says, "You wear your shame like a badge because you don't have the balls to actually pin on."
Pin it on, yeah.
Pin on. Yep. He goes off more. "Yes, just look at you. Desperate to be feared. You want to be perceived as a monster, draped in black. And yet, you leave that little window, a glimpse at the perfection underneath obvious. This chiseled good looks, not the jaw, the mouth of a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you let it be seen? Tell me why." Batman says the best comeback and one of the best lines in the book, "to mock you."
Mock you.
That was great. Batman's only dialogue in the book was that. Because it confirmed what joke. It confirms right there that was the entire book's narrative. Joker only sees Batman as a worthy opponent to him in any confrontation, in any iteration, which is all great to see. It's awesome. Then, obviously, you have the final act of the book where Joker kills Johnny. Obviously, it was going to happen. You know, he shot him in through the chin, where that would give him the same look that Joker has.
Can I just go to the little bit back to the whole idea of this crime boss trying to establish himself in a city, hires nobody, some little kid or whoever the hell, his driver now. This kid driver suddenly becomes friends with him, wants to be friends, does horrible things for him. They have a friendship, and then, this dude just goes and kills him. What does that remind you of? The Penguin. Took it from this. Literally, they did not come up with this idea on their own. This was written and done. And again, this is very Sopranos. This is very crime boss. It's not your Tim Burton, oh my God, Batman's going to come and run. Batman is not even in this until the very last
barely.
minute.
Maybe was in like 3 pages max, maybe.
Yeah, like very last minute. This is about a character story. And I'm sorry, I think that the people, even though I did like the Penguin, but you need to really appreciate what these guys did, because they did it before you, because they did it in 2008, and you did it only a couple of years ago. Sorry.
And then the last part, as Joker shot Johnny through the chin, Johnny starts realizing, wait a minute, I was never on Joker's level. He never saw me as an equal. I was never going to be on the same level as him. He says, there will always be a Joker because there's no cure for him. Not a cure at all. Just a Batman.
Right. And then they do this at the end, which the Joker Folie Adult went with as well. Again, taking other people's work. Comic book strip, which is made in the way of Asterix and whatever the hell. And no. You copy people's shit, give them credit.
And then it's finally comes into Johnny's mind before as he's dying or he's shot through the chin, that he realizes the Joker is a disease. Because earlier in the book, before Batman caught them, he was pleading with him to stop, but Joker was like, he just didn't care. Obviously, you're not going to listen to that guy. He's a fucking loser, It just goes to show you that guys still don't respect people that are just fucking simping. Or not simping, like, no one likes followers. No one likes kiss asses. Even in someone as crazy as a Joker, I mean, Harley Quinn's technically not a kiss ass, but she sleeps with him, so that's kind of the angle she gets. She gets to ride his disco stick.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, honestly, man, this was such a good read. I know there's people out there that don't like this story. I don't see why not. I don't see why you don't like it. I mean, it's all subjective. I get it, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it from top
I
to
liked it
bottom.
too.
It was a fun story. It's a great story. Also, I will say this. It's not even a slow burn. You know, like stories like this are usually like slow burns to the very, very end. No, it was intriguing. It was interesting. It was paced very well. The dialogue was really good. Like usually dialogue can go either way. The dialogue in this book was all narrated through Johnny. It's great.
Yeah, like I don't care about Johnny Frost, whatever. We don't care about him. I like the actual art. Like it's so detailed. Everything is so detailed. Everything is done so very well. That's what it's not what somebody said, like smash or boom or whatever. Isn't anyone listening to what I have to say? You're looking at the behind the scenes, what's been done. It's brilliant.
Oh, did you notice the part where after Batman gave him that confirmation was to mock him, he actually fully started just going even more insane? Is the part right there? He lost it. He was like, "Oh shit, this guy's just fucking with me."
Yeah, like I don't know if I can.
I love it, man. This was probably, I'll be honest with you, this is one of my favorite comic books that I've read this year so far. Man, it's gonna be so hard ranking books this year toward the very end of the year because this one was one of my favorites. I love the Transformer book we just recently read. I love the Green Lantern book that I just read. Oh my god, it's gonna be so hard ranking books. This was great. And keep in mind, if you didn't like it, that's fine. All different strokes for different folks, but I thought this was great. And it also gives you the recommendations to read other Brian Azzarello books. I'll be reading the Lex Luthor one after this at some point.
Oh my god. Do you know what? They actually, okay, at the end of the book, open it up. They actually sent a proposal for Dark Knight. Wow. Proposal by Brian Azzarello and Lee Berman. So the news spread through the black alleys to the penthouses, from rooms where everything you'd ever want was for sale to the confessionals where it was all paid for. It spread like wildfire, or more aptly, I'm sorry, it's really tiny, or more like a disease. Because that's what he is, I guess, a disease that's infected Gotham City, and there's no cure for a disease that somehow, with the help of God or the devil, pick your poison, had convinced his doctors he himself wasn't diseased anymore. The news spread Joker was being released from Arkham Asylum. That's what Johnny Frost actually said. And that was the proposal for Dark Knight to Christopher Nolan. Interesting.
No, yeah, great book. You get a recommendation of a certified banger from me. That's what I got to do now with all the comic book reviews that we do. That if we really like them, you get a certified banger from me. I definitely recommend. But keep in mind, also, this does predicate on you kind of knowing Batman and Joker's relationship already and knowing Joker to really get the full scope of the book. And if you don't, you might not enjoy it. But I will say this: my only thing is just Harley Quinn. She could have been a little bit more in the book. That's probably like my only actual real gripe. But other than that, no, it's fine. Good book. Any other closing thoughts you have before we close out of the review?
No, I like the art.
God, you're such a girl, man. Oh my god.
I know, man. I am.
Why can't you be one of those girls that identify as a woman? You know, you got an Adam's apple.
I know, right? Like, what the fuck?
You gonna jump up and down?
You
gonna do jumping jacks for the video? No,
not gonna do that.
All right. So, thank you guys for checking out this butthole. I'm kidding. I'm joking. That's what you gotta do. Joke. But no, my closing thoughts on the book is it was great art. The writing was really good. I enjoyed the interpretation of the Joker. I love that end part of the book. That my favorite line was obviously the Two-Face line where he was telling Johnny what the Joker really is and who he's about. The last fight on the bridge, and oh my god, the dialogue is so damn good. Holy fuck. Certified banger. Sign me up. I'll be honest here. If I wish I could reread this again to enjoy it the way I did before.
Let's do this one next, please. Can we do this one?
Okay. So if you give me a hug and you have to squeeze me.
No.
Oh.
No.
Dang
I don't care. Whatever.
Oh. Fine. So keep in mind, I have to find it first. I think I ordered it. I just got to find it in my pile of books. When I do, we will review it. Good Lord. So, no, Anna, don't go away. Just come back and love me. Do you ever love the black guy? So, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King. We're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Peace.